on board with that. It's it's not a joke. It's something that people should pay attention to, more so because of the fact that you have people out there that are actively targeting industries. That's the thing. It's not something that you know uh, a random person kind of appearing on your website and complaining about the accessibility. It's not like that at all. You're actually being targeted. Um, but today with the personal brand, we're going to open up for questions, of course. We want to talk about the importance of it and how to establish yourself as an authority in your industry. We mentioned things like this so many times before when it comes to the personal brand and how people want to do business with people. So if I'm coming at you as my company, and keep this in mind too when it comes to your own company and whatever you might be doing, the industry that you're in, if you're coming to somebody as ABC company, they feel like they're being pitched, and that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to establish real relationships with people. You have to establish three things which are really important, and it's something that was always mentioned in previous videos that I've done, is the know, like, and trust factors. I'm wondering if anybody hopefully heard of that before. You want to establish these relationships with other people, and that's where you build the foundation, and then business can grow from that. And it may not just be between you and that person, but possibly a referral, situation at some point, because now you're establishing uh, your expertise. The person's trusting you. They know, okay, you specialize in this area, and at that point, they'll feel more confident with sending you a referral. That's the whole point. So when you're building these relationships, you want to establish that, and you want to build up the network. You want to expand, and you have to build the relationship first so that people can know, like, and trust you, and then feel confident. It's like putting a stamp of approval on that relationship when I make the referral, because you establish yourself as that expert. Now, how do you do that, right? So that's where we get into building up that authority. It's about value and good content. A lot of people get discouraged because they're putting things out there on social and they're not getting much engagement. They're not building up their following. It's okay. The key is to continue to put out that good content so that you're establishing yourself as an expert, but also an educator in what you do. But you have to think outside the box. So I actually had my Wednesday networking meeting that I'm a part of every Wednesday morning, and the topic, just ironic, was talking about lead gen and how to go about it. And that's one of the things that we were discussing, at least when I was contributing to the conversation, is to talk about putting out good value, good content, but think outside the box, right? There's so many things that people can discuss about their industry without pitching. Teach people, and that's important. If anybody has any questions, go ahead and drop them in. Of course, I'll answer them. So putting out good content, right? So it doesn't matter what industry you're in. So right here, Dr. Martiniak. So my guy right there, we go back a very long time. So he could be putting out videos on the educating people when it comes to his industry. Now, he's a dentist. Anything that has to do with oral care, preventative, what to look out for, products, what might be new, so much stuff, right? and put something out there in long form, right? So something a little bit longer in the video, could be a couple of minutes, and then that could be put up on YouTube. And then now you're breaking that down into several smaller clips that can be repurposed now on Instagram, on TikTok, Reels, stories, whatever it is. But what he's doing, he's educating. And what that does is you're teaching people for free, right? Anything that I might be doing right now that I might be doing for free, giving advice or guidance through a live, we're teaching people, right? Because that's going to establish that authority. And he can be doing that as well. That's just one example. And so basically, pick a topic, has to do with something, let's say preventative, right? James, when it comes to oral care, pick one thing that the public should know. Break it down a couple of bullet points. Now you do a video that's a minute and a half, whatever it is, and get it out there. And then you can use that same clip and break it down into like 15-second clips on, say, each bullet point, and you put that out, once a day. And now you have a story, or you have a reel that you can put out on that one particular bullet point. So you're constantly educated, because I'm not an expert in any of those things. But the more you do that, I'm like, wow, he knows his stuff, and maybe I would want to do business with him. Maybe I want to go visit him. Or if someone needs a referral, I got the dentist for you. Just a good example, right? Because he knows his stuff. Speaking of someone today who does mortgages, right? She's in that industry and whatnot. She knows about the market, the real estate market, right? So it's not all, what is she going to talk about all day? Mortgages and rates? No, educate people on what's going on out there, what's happening. Talk about it, and things from real estate to what might be, maybe foresights, like what's going on here. Educate people, maybe the different types of loans, all that type of stuff that people are wondering, because the majority of the people have no idea what's happening there, and you're educated, So always present yourself as the expert in the room. That's the thing. You are the expert in the room, and you own it with confidence on no matter what you might be speaking about, okay? But think outside the box in your industry. Don't take it for granted that people know exactly everything you do and all the ins and outs, because we really don't, right? Here's a question. How do we start, or how did I start building my brand? After a lot of pushing from my internal team, right, to get out there more, is to do just that. Separate yourself from the company. If you have a company, if you don't have a company, then you're already there, right? You want to go ahead and establish your own personal channels. So set up an Instagram, set up your personal Facebook. That is the business Facebook, not Mario Facebook posting pizza and chicken parmesan, or when I'm down the Jersey Shore with my friends and we got 6 dozen clams on the barbecue. No, not that. You want to go ahead and you want to create a business profile, and it should be public, and make sure you got your LinkedIn profile as well, tuned up, ready to go, professional picture profile and whatnot. That's a different topic we could talk about. Do that first. Then you want to start coming up with a content strategy. What can you be talking about on a daily basis to educate your audience? And that's how it starts. So is it important to have your personal brand, even though you're the owner of a business? Yes, because again, what I mentioned before, it separates you, right? If I'm coming to people as, hi, I'm MSM Digital, where's the personal connection? Where is that, that one-on-one, instead of, that, okay, you're Joe, I'm Mario, right? Like, that's eliminated when you're doing something like that. So it's very important to have the personal brand in place, because that's where relationships grow. People don't have relationships with brands, right, that they want to do business with. They actually like to do business with people. So they'll go ahead and make a decision based on, hey, I like that person. I trust that person. I want to do business with that person. And I get that a lot from clients that we've had relationships over the years who feel very comfortable with not only maybe myself, but other people in my company. And there's key players in my company that have been with me a long time that has established their own relationships. And the clients feel very comfortable with them. And there's a handful of you that work for MSM Digital that establish those relationships. So it's important. So, Chris, how do you build a personal brand when working for a global company? That's a great question. And I think it still goes back to the fundamentals of you being the expert. See, here's the thing, Chris. You have a great position. You work for a big company. But if you ever want to move on, if you already established your following as an expert in what you do, right? That goes with you. The company can't take that away. So I urge you to still focus on you as the expert in what you do. How do you help customers? How do you help companies in what you bring to the table? Your knowledge in that company, and what you do with those products and sales, is you have to still establish that on your own network, your own following, because you may move on at some point. You got a better offer, and now you still have that following. All that good content is still yours. It's your own personal brand. No one's taking that away from you. It's like carrying your Rolodex over to the next company. So you still want to establish yourself. And your experience backs you up. Being whatever title you have at that company brings in that credibility, right? But the content is going to make you the educator and the expert in that industry, what you do. And you never know, it might attract other people in different companies. Say, you know what? I want this guy on our team. Look at what he's putting out there. This guy knows his stuff, right? Something to think about. But yeah, like James was saying, as far as like the corporate, sucks and got to be personal, and it's true. You're in a people business, James. I mean, you got to make people good. That's a sensitive area, highly personable. You got to have a different approach over there. But I hope you're kind of following, what I'm trying to say with the importance of the personal brand. And it's all about that. It's all about the content. It's all about putting out the value. Don't be afraid to teach people stuff. Even if you look at some of the things that we put out as a company, we're not trying to sell anything. We're just putting out value. Let people follow. I'm not looking to make a sale on Instagram. I'm not looking to do that. If that happens because people want to work with us, because people realize, wow, they know what they're doing, they know what they're talking about, they take a look at who we are and what we have accomplished, that's great. But what we want to do is continue to build up the authority as experts in the industry for other bigger things down the road. So if there's no other questions, I got my my time's up. Red light going off here. But this is a really big topic, and we could always continue again next time on this. And at some point, we're going to be collaborating on some of these lives to bring in some other voices, and perhaps it'll be longer than a 15-minute type of live. And I will be at some point launching the new podcast, which is going to be a whole lot of fun. So I can't wait for that to happen, where we're going to have guests and we're going to have a lot of great conversations going on. And I can't wait for that to kick off. So I appreciate all your time for joining in. Thank you so much. If you still have any questions, or hit me up via DM, that's fine, and I'll be happy to help you. But thank you, everybody. Have a great rest of the day, rest of the week. All right, keep crushing it for 2024, because that's what it's all about, moving that needle. So let's go. All right, bye-bye.